Hey guys, welcome to another video from me, John. A lot of people think, does text game exist? Isn't it all the interaction? I'm gonna teach you about my experience with text game, okay? I've taught a lot of people a text game. The text game system has been top secret. Only bootcamp students has ever learned it. Some 3MP students or 3 months of proficiency students have learned it. And also like maybe a few of my online students. But my text game system, because I want to say is all your interaction and everything. And it's true, most of it is your interaction. So having a good interaction means that text game will be a lot easier. You need a good connection. There's a lot of things that you need to do to get the girl to come out. First of all, you need like a good fucking solid connection. Without connection, she won't even reply back. You need just a little bit of physical touching. Without physical touching, right? She can feel it. If you touch her, it connects to the whole nervous system. That touch can increase the odds of her replying back. You need to have a sexual connection at some point. Another thing is a man-to-woman connection. You also need to build attraction. And I think that's a very important concept to understand is that for some of us who are not like tall white people who have a lot of fucking value, a lot of bulk, a lot of protector status, they always say the same thing. There's no such thing as teasing, flirting, nagging. I want to say, fuck you, you stupid motherfuckers, you privileged fucks. That's not true. We actually have to tease. I'm sorry, but that's the only way to go on about it. Sometimes we have to tease just a little bit. Of course, you can do it without it, but it'll be harder. So there's a lot of components. Maybe another thing is you have to be her type. The reason why some girls don't text back is because you're not her fucking type. I hate to say this, and I know it's controversial. Is this text game, this, what? No. Imagine your like most ideal girl, one or two of them, okay? Your most ideal type. And you gotta think to yourself, if this is your ideal girl, right? Are there girls out there that are not your ideal, that you don't fucking like that much, that you're not that much into? If the answer is yes, then this is what the girl feels about you. That's right, that's what they feel about you. You just gotta realize you're not everyone's type. So no matter what you do, if you're dressed like a fucking nerd, you know, you don't fucking work out, you're fucking borderline autistic with 30 skills, of course she's not gonna text back. What the fuck? Or maybe you're a value-taking snake who's a sleazy salesman. So I hate to say this, but that's what gets the girl to text back. So is there such a thing as a text game? The answer is yes. And what are the most common mistakes most people make? The first one is, I think asking her out too early is one of the biggest mistakes I see people make. It's always the second text you ask her out. I like to think about if you're fishing, right? For example, you want at least your first text is like a bait. You want the fucking fish to bite onto the fucking worm on the hook. And you gotta hook the cheek for the second text. Does that make sense? And the fish, when it bites into that fucking hook, it's gonna go right down to the water. If she hates you, she's gonna try to swim the fuck away. So there's more distance to pull her up to the water, surface level. Sometimes flirting, teasing, and all these other things that you learn about spicing can help yank the fucking fish up. Then you gotta pull the fish up to water. See, there's steps. By actually pulling the fish up too early, you snap the fucking line. You see that? This one big gold nugget tip. Because you asked her out too early and the fish is swimming down there, barely got this thing hooked in the cheek, you lose the girl, she doesn't respond, and you wonder why. It is your fucking fault because you can't stop asking her out on the second fucking text because you're a fucking moron. So whoever says point A to point B, right, is usually a tall, privileged, strong motherfucker that tells you all text is point A, point B logistics. That's complete fucking bullshit. There is a social bank account kind of thing to text game, and it's like fishing. I hate to say it, but it's like fishing. You have to fucking fish. All this time, because you could recalibrate your fucking text game, that not asking her out, but waiting for this right sweet spot, you might have kept the girl. And there is an escalation ladder, a soft closing escalation ladder to the text game. It's exactly the same Daygame system. It's just metaphorically the same. And that's what you're gonna learn. How to text the girl. It's not that difficult. I can give you the perfect first text, second text, but I'd rather save it for like future products or future, programs. There is such a thing as text game. You don't want to depend on it, but stop asking her out too early and stop thinking it's all point A to point B, maybe at a later point. When you actually got the fish up to the surface level of the water or the girl, before you pull her up and ask her out, how fucking stupid can you be to think there's no fucking text game? I know it sounds great, it's all game, but I had many students. At the same time, there's two students, they're 6'2", As you've probably seen in the bootcamp video, the tall white guy with the bald head, another East Indian guy, they were doing direct game, okay? So a shitty style of game that does not involve touching, does not involve man to woman frame. It's all self-amusement, barely any connection. You know, they have they're not her type. They're blah, 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 all this other shit, no man to woman. They kept losing girls because they kept asking her out early and they kept going direct. So what happens is that when I tell them, get back to your fucking style you learned in your boot camp, and they did, all the girls came out. They used to have like 2 to 4 girls or something a week coming on a date once they correct their text game. In text game, you either show a higher value or a lower value. So if you're needy and you write big fucking text, guess what happens? You're showing a lower value, therefore it's not gonna fucking come up. If you show shorter text, it shows a higher value. If you don't ask her out right away, you wait a little bit, you show a higher value. If you ask her out right away and just way too fucking fast, guess what happens? You show lower value. You write big text, big paragraphs, these fucking stupid memes like one of my students, just one meme after another. I mean, when I was critiquing them, just one fucking meme after another, which is lower value. You see what I mean? It's all a demonstration of higher value or lower value. Women, when they look at your text, they don't see your fucking words. They're not logical. They see the abstract. So yes, there is an abstract text game that women interpret, just like they interpret your fashion or they interpret, you know, your vibe or your body language or the way you speak or any of that social skills. There's a whole fucking system behind it. Yes, text game exists and you can even deal with objections on text game. I would say in my teaching experience, text game is real and you're gonna actually start to learn it in the future. You're gonna see how easy it is to get a girl out on a date, like a lot of my students. So sometimes the day 2 issues, the girl doesn't come out on a date. It could be your text game is so fucking shitty that you're fucking shooting yourself in the foot or you're snapping that fishing line. Does that make sense? I know, I'm giving you a lot of information here and a lot of value. So you can reciprocate by maybe joining a program.